We have epic news about the iPhone 14 series, and that's coming up right after this. Today's video is sponsored by Rhino Shield cases. With Rhino Shield cases, you not only get an extremely impact protective case, but you also get the freedom of expression with customizable cases. They offer a huge range of cases in different colors and designs, and there's also plenty of collaborations with designs from Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, and more. They offer a customizable case design where you can add a photo collage, custom text, premium stamping or a memento, and you can even customize an Apple Watch case or an AirPods case to match your phone. They ship worldwide, and there's even free shipping for qualifying orders, and they believe in their products so much that you get a lifetime replacement warranty on all of their cases. They're available for all Android and iPhone flagship devices, and if you use the code TTTech within 48 hours, you'll get 20% off and then 10% off after that. Now the link to the Rhino Shield cases are down in the description below, so go ahead and check them out today. So the first story of the day is another report that further backs up a punch-hole camera coming to the iPhone 14. In a new report from The Elect, it states that the 6.1-inch iPhone 14 Pro and the 6.7-inch iPhone 14 Pro Max will have a punch-hole selfie camera. The true depth camera required for Face Unlock is still going to be present, but it will be embedded underneath the display. Now similar to its predecessor, we also have the cool speaker moved up into the top bezel, and Ming-Chi Kuo reported this information way back in September, so with many sources now in agreement, it's looking very likely to happen. While it was initially thought that all four models would have this punch-hole selfie camera, this is unfortunately not going to be the case. The 6.1-inch iPhone 14 and the new 6.7-inch iPhone 14 Max will be retaining the notch, and it's thought that it will look pretty much the same as the iPhone 13. We've also got more news from reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo that the Pro models of the iPhone 14 are finally going to see a camera upgrade. Its predecessor sports a triple 12-megapixel camera system. With the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, the primary wide-angle camera is going to be upgraded to a 48-megapixel camera. This will also get support for 8K video recording. The new sensor is also going to support pixel binning technology, and this means it can shoot at 48 megapixels as well as 12 megapixel modes, and this will allow for better quality in difficult lighting conditions. While there were early rumors of a periscope lens coming to the iPhone 14, this is unfortunately not going to be happening on the 14 series, and they will instead come with a 12-megapixel telephoto. The telephoto camera is unknown at this time, but it's likely that it's going to support 3 times optical zoom. The periscope camera is, however, reportedly in the works, but we won't be seeing it until the 2023 iPhone. Now next up, we've got a report that says the iPhone 14 is going to be coming with 8GB of RAM for the Pro models and 6GB of RAM for the non-Pro. Now this always seemed likely, as Apple are fairly conservative with RAM, but a small upgrade like this will of course be welcomed. A report from Mac Rumors also states that all 4 models are going to be coming with a 120Hz display. While this would be great news, it seems very unlikely. Display analyst Ross Young has previously told us that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will be 120Hz, but the 14 and the 14 Max are only going to be 60. Now Ross Young has a pretty much 100% track record, especially with display information, so you can be pretty certain that he is correct. All in all though, the iPhone 14 series is looking like a more refined version of its predecessor, and with the Pro models ditching the notch in favour of a punch hole, it's going to give them a much more modern look as well. Now for those of you excited for the iPhone 14 though, we're now going to run through the full specs, design and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if this is the phone for you. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you are new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. To start with, the new entry-level model is going to be the iPhone 14. With the iPhone 14, we get a 6.1-inch Super Retina OLED display. It's expected to be a 90Hz display with an 1170 by 2532 resolution, and this gives us 460 pixels per inch. On the front, we'll be getting a 12-megapixel selfie camera, but unlike the Pro models, we will have a notch instead of a punch-hole camera. On the rear, it's expected that they're going to stick with a dual camera setup, but it may be the first time we get a LiDAR scanner on the lower end models. The dual camera setup is going to consist of a wide angle and an ultra wide camera, and the phone is going to be powered by the new A16 Bionic, which is going to be a 4nm chipset that's both more powerful and efficient than the A15. It's going to be coming with 6GB of RAM and a choice of 128, 256 or 512 storage. The phone's going to be powered by a 3240 mAh battery with improved fast charging, likely to be something like 25 watts. It's expected to support both wireless and reverse wireless charging, and it's also expected to come with 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and ultra-wideband support. It will of course ship with the new iOS 16. When it comes to pricing, Apple have been keeping things relatively the same lately, so we're expecting the base model to start from $799. Now next up, we've got the iPhone 14 Pro. With the iPhone 14 Pro, we get a 6.1-inch ProMotion OLED display. It's a 120Hz LTPO display with a resolution of 1170 by 2532, which gives us 440 pixels per inch. On the front, we get another 12-megapixel wide-angle camera with Face ID sensors embedded in the display. On the rear, we get a triple camera setup consisting of a 48-megapixel wide-angle as the primary, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide and a 12-megapixel telephoto, and of course we get the additional LiDAR scanner. The phone is going to be powered by the A16 Bionic, and it's expected that it's going to come with a choice of 8GB of RAM, 128, 256, 512 and 1TB of storage. The phone's going to be powered by a 3240 mAh battery with improved fast charging, likely to be 25 watts. It's expected to support both wireless and reverse wireless charging, and it's also expected to come with 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and ultra-wideband support. It's going to ship with iOS 16, and the base model of the iPhone 14 Pro is expected to launch from $999. Now next up, we've got the new edition, which is the iPhone 14 Max. The iPhone 14 Max is expected to come with a 6.7-inch Super Retina OLED display. It's expected to be a 90Hz display with a resolution of 1284 by 2778. On the front, we get a 12-megapixel selfie camera, and on this model, we also have a notch. And then on the rear, we get a 12-megapixel wide angle as the primary, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and the LiDAR scanner. The phone's going to be powered by the new A16 Bionic, and it should be coming with 6GB of RAM and a choice of 128, 256 or 512 storage. The iPhone 14 Max is going to be powered by a 4352 mAh battery, again with fast charging likely to be 25 watts. It's expected to support both wireless and reverse wireless charging, and it's also going to come with 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and ultra-wideband support. Of course, it's going to be shipping with iOS 16. When it comes to pricing, we expect the iPhone 14 Max to start from $899. Now finally, we've got the top-end model, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is coming with a 6.7-inch ProMotion OLED display. We're expecting a 120Hz LTPO display with a resolution of 1284 by 2778, giving us 458 pixels per inch. On the front, we get a 12-megapixel punch-hole selfie camera with Face ID under the display, and then on the rear is the triple camera setup and a LiDAR scanner. The triple camera consists of a 48-megapixel wide angle, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 12-megapixel telephoto. The phone's going to be powered by the A16 Bionic, and it's expected that it's going to come with a choice of 8GB of RAM, 128, 256, 512 or 1TB storage. The phone's going to be powered by a 4352 mAh battery with improved fast charging, likely to be 25 watts, and again it's likely to support both wireless and reverse wireless charging. It's expected to come with 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and ultra-wideband support, and it will of course ship with iOS 16. The base model of the iPhone 14 Pro Max is expected to launch from $1,099, and of course the higher storage options will cost more. So overall, the iPhone 14 is looking incredible, and it's great to finally see some drastic design changes. In terms of the hardware, they've already got a good setup going, so focusing on design is a good move. Of course, the iPhone 14 series is going to be launching in September 22, and as more and more leaks come in, I'll continue to share them as they do. As always though, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments, so who out there is excited for the iPhone 14, and do you actually want to see a punch hole? But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.